How did Big KRIT become financially free? We're going to talk about that in this video. Starting with some background, Big KRIT, born Justin Lewis Scott, is an independent music artist from Mississippi who rose from his artist-producer combination. He believes in himself and was willing to go all in on investing in his career. Through the relationships built and the trust in himself, Big KRIT had everything he needed to go the independent route. He began his career in 2005 and would go on to initially signing with Def Jam in 2010. That deal opened doors for him to take control of his career. Going into music, Big KRIT has released over 20 projects throughout his career. One mixtape that specifically pushed him to get signed with Def Jam was his 2010 release, KRIT Was Here, which would then be remastered and re-released in 2020. Big KRIT album sales average between 30 and 45,000 consistently, which brings in returns from that consistent fan base. He also has multiple revenue streams from songwriting, producing, touring, and features. With the respect that Big KRIT has built up for himself, he has talked about completing entire projects with artists featuring for free, like his 2017 album, Forever is a Mighty Long Time. What this tells me is that Big KRIT has been able to cut down on normal costs for labels just on the relationships he has built up. This allows him to put that money elsewhere. In 2016, Big KRIT would leave Def Jam to focus on building up his own label, Alumni. Def Jam did provide Big KRIT a massive stepping stone to build his relationships in the industry, but still was holding him back for not being a priority. KRIT is no stranger to the independent route, so he left and started Alumni. With the consistent album sales that Big KRIT receives, this puts his label in a better spot since he will be receiving 100% of his royalties. This definitely was the best move for him because of the name he built up for himself. As Alumni is a main focus for Big KRIT now, it will be interesting to see how it transforms and who he brings on. Now, when talking about investing, I'm going to continue off the independent route with investing in the career. Big KRIT throughout his career has been a massive advocate for investing in your career and is not afraid to show the wins and losses. In 2014, Big KRIT discussed how he put all his money from being signed to Def Jam into his own music when he wasn't a priority. This was him paying for features without Def Jam to push himself further. He was not afraid to say that he put himself in a bad place financially because it was necessary for his situation. Big KRIT on the Joe Budden podcast talked about how from 2005 to 2010, when he was independent, he used the same laptop until he was signed. He was confident in building his skills with any piece of equipment, which sets him apart. Quality equipment is necessary to take things up, but equipment does not make the artist, and Big KRIT followed that. When asked what his worst financial decision was, Big KRIT brings up the time when he spent his money earned to go on a tour with WIZ KHALIFA. Once again, he talked about how it was necessary for his career to get in front of that audience to build those relationships. Sacrifices were made to push himself further, which would pay off now that he is successfully independent. Investing in your career is important because most of the time you are the only backer even when you're signed to a major label like Def Jam. As someone who has worked with independent artists, I know the grind that it takes, and if you want it, you are out there building those relationships and investing in your career. This brings me to the question, what is next for Big KRIT? He just released his latest album, Digital Roses Don't Die, so there still is a lot of promotion backing that. But we will definitely get more music from Big KRIT and his label, Alumni. Like I mentioned, I think we will see more developments of the label, which could include signed artists. As for investments, I think we will of course continue to see that investing in career. I also could see that lead to other entrepreneurship ventures. I think we could see some startup or established company investments along the way. Overall, Big KRIT has set himself up for consistent success, which brings that consistent return to his pocket. In summary, Big KRIT became financially free by investing in his own career through the highs and lows, which brought him a loyal fan base and consistent returns on his ventures. This video is for the independent artists out there. Take advice from successful independent artists and make your own way. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.